Okay, welcome back everybody to Coffee and Art in the Morning, and we're going to finish up on our, well, try to finish up, we'll say. We'll work on part 2 of our VooDoo in, is it VooDoo in Blue? Let's see what it's called again. It's in the book. I tore her out, and I'll write it on the back of the mat when I mat it. Let's see. Where did I can't find where I tore it out? Ah, VooDoo in Blue. That's what it's called. VooDoo in Blue. Okay, so we're going to continue on. We've did acrylic painting and then a pencil ombre in the back. This is watercolor with the Jane Davenport watercolors right in here. And now I'm working on our face. So that's what we're going to continue in. And we're really zoomed in so you can see, hopefully. Hopefully you can see. And yeah, back onto her skin. I want to add a little bit of peach to her face, just so she has a little tiny bit of color. So I'll probably just put a little bit of skin color in her cheeks, and just a little, just to make it so it's not flat blue. Maybe a little on her nose. But I want to keep it creepy, kind of Halloween-y, you know. So if you have any questions, put them in caps. All right. Now I think I'll go, let's start on her, I think I'll do her hair. Because I am going to want, let me see here, white highlights kind of right surrounding her face. So I might just go ahead and paint that in, and I might have to do it a couple times if I end up covering this up. I'll put it back in with the Posca. But I want to do some highlights here. I'm going to pick those out. A little bit around her face, just to have a little bit more. She's got her ear there. I have my window open so you're going to hear traffic. It's not really busy here, but you'll hear some stuff going by. But it's such a nice, cool day. So I'm going to go ahead and put the highlights. Again, if I cover up too much of the highlights when I go into shade in the blue, I'll just put it back on top. Put the highlights back again. And I could do this with paint. It might even be easier, except for this lines right along her face. Probably just to be as easy to paint them in. I might do that. I might get out the white paint. Just go ahead and put in the white. And then I'll go back later with the detail lines for more. I'm just talking out loud. I'm kind of trying to figure it out. But I want it to be really kind of creepy. Okay, let's see. Let me get some. Come back here, pencils. Don't go too far. Uh-oh. Don't get in the paint. Alrighty. Where's my white paint? Here it is. I'm going to go ahead and put some highlights with white. Let me get a small brush. My desk is so full now from all the stuff. I don't know where everything is. Where'd that brush go? Now this one will work. So I'm just going to go in here with white paint and get some thicker highlights in there. Like that. It's just easier. And that's what the Posca is, just paint anyway. So you might as well just, you know, if you're going to do it thick, you might as well go ahead and just paint it in. Right? And then with the Posca, I might have a couple strands of hair after I finish coloring her face. I have a couple strands cutting across her face. I guess that was the electric company going through. I told y'all earlier that they were changing out some transformers in our neighborhood. And I lost cable yesterday for a while. But I'm glad whatever they were doing didn't affect us today. See how that kind of gives her a glow? And I probably want to do a little bit on her wings too, but I might do that with the Posca because I want it tiny. Still with me, guys? Hey, Third Terry, how you doing? Hear the crows out there. I'd get the fine point. And well, it depends on what you're going to use them for. Daisy, are you going to do it for like highlights and tiny things and you want the fine point? I have some of both, but I use them for different things. This one I think is 0.7, I think is what it is. This is the one I use the most. I don't know, it's not, I think it might just be called fine, but then there's an extra fine. So this is just fine point. The medium point looks more like, no, that's not, well, maybe this is the same. No, I don't know if you'll be able to tell. One's more like a bullet tip and one's more pointy. Hey Carol, how you doing? Good to see you. My iPad's ringing because my phone's ringing and I'm not answering it. Hang on, let me move everything out of here. Alright, back to this. Yeah, I would go with the fine point. And they're in Japanese, so I can't tell you the exact information on them. So just get, I would go with the fine point for color books. Okay, so Jean said the medium point is the bullet, about the size of a regular Sharpie. It's a nicer point, though. You can still do nice lettering. The fine point's the size of the medium. See, I don't know, Jean. None of that's making sense to me. The fine point's the same size as the medium point of a Sharpie. I don't know. I just like the fine point, and I don't even know if this is considered fine point. I think this is fine point, but there's an extra fine point too. It's a 0.7 millimeter, this one, 0.7. Okay, so I'm just kind of getting some, and some of this will be covered up, some will be blended in, you know. I'm not going in any particular order, it's just what I felt like doing next. I don't have a formula. No formulas. Okay. I'm wondering if I want to go dark, I'll probably do dark right along her face line there. Okay. So let me hit this with the heat gun just to make sure, because I'll drag my sleeve through it. Alright, so let's see. Let's go back to her eyes a little bit. My indigo here. Got to sharpen. I have my little tray, a little bowl here with sharpeners in it that I keep handy. And then I also have my electric one too. I mean the hand crank one. It gets a nice point, but it takes more time. It's hard to do that on the show. Plankton. Yeah, no secret formula for the Krusty Krab. Prisma. I got your joke. Okay, so now let me get back in the eyes here. Because I don't like I don't like the lines showing in the eyes. I mean, I don't so much like here's some, you know, eyelid line. That doesn't bother me so much. But the eye lines in the eyeballs, I try to get rid of those with the colors of the eyes. Now I'm going to go to the lightest blue here. Blend. And then right along, that might not be, and might need something a little darker. Maybe this one. I'm going to go right along the lash line with the light blue. Rather, because I whited out. I whited out the bottom lid line, and now I'm putting it back in with pencil because I don't want that black line there. And then I'll just take my white Posca and make sure that highlight kind of touches down that far. Make sure her highlights are the same or close to it. Then the corner of her eye here, I'm going to put a little shadow in the corner. And then I'm going to also put the tiniest little highlight in the corner. Very tiny. Okay. Now let's go back to the skin. Go back to, with the periwinkle is my darkest blue on her face. And do a little bit more. See, it's hard for me to not do a nose bridge. I mean, I do it sometimes. It just seems funny not to have a nose connecting there, so maybe I shouldn't even put that much. Let me get my, I think I've got even too much here. Shadow on the side, because I'm not going to bring it up. I'm not going to bring the bridge up like that. Alright, so now I'm going to go with the indigo and get a little bit more shadow, like under the hairline here, and probably along her face, under the ear here. And start giving it some depth. Thank you, Connie. And then giving me some darker hair next to the highlighted hair. Can y'all see that? There's her arm right there. That's her ear right there. You have just a little shadow coming across it. Thanks, guys. Okay. I'll turn it a little so I can get along her cheek. Something like that. Get right along her arm there. And I'll put some wisps over the top when I get done. You'll see here in a minute. Light blend here. I mean light layer here. So now I'm going to get confused myself with blending and layering and all that when I start with polys. I'm going to have to change my terminology to fit the different pencils, aren't I? I want to color like you when you grow up. Well, Jen, that's why I do these shows, so you can get the techniques, And of course, a lot of it does take practice. I'm not, going to say you just pick up a pencil and start blending that easily. But I've been doing portraits for so long that, color booking, blending is just not hard for me because I do so much with, portraiture, portraits, pencil, with the color pencil. Okay, so something like that. Now what I want to do is I want to show you, let's go ahead and get a medium, the periwinkle. I want to get a little in her part there because her skin is kind of showing through on the part. So let's kind of blend that little bit of a part in there. And maybe just feather out some of the dark blue just a little. Let's get it nice and smooth before I do when you flick the individual hairs, you want to make sure all the background's done because you do not want to have to try to color around little flicked out hairs. Okay, so this is the periwinkle. I've been using periwinkle and indigo on top of the watercolor that we laid down at the beginning, and that's all in part 1. This is part 2 if you're joining us in the recordings. So I'm just going to smooth it out a little here. Maybe have a little more shadow down in here. Make her head look a little rounder right there. Maybe a little right there too. Because you can go over that white paint, remember? Whether it's Posca or acrylic, you can go right over it. Lightly or full pressure, whichever way. There'll be a little shadow there. Okay, so I'm liking that. Now I'll show y'all with the white. And you can do this with a liner brush or your Posca. I think it needs just a little bit more white right there, though. Let me just try it. Let me get a white pencil for a minute. Let me sharpen this. I want to blend that right there, and then I might add a little bit more with the paint. Okay, so let's. A lot of people use the polychromos, and I'm just, I'm not. I want to get used to using them. I've just always used Prisma for decades, so it's just that I'm used to them, that's all. Not saying nothing wrong with that. I want to learn the polys. Okay. But if y'all want to see people use just polychromos, just just search on YouTube and you'll find them. Okay, let's get a couple extra strands there. All right, now I'm going to take my Posca. I don't know why, Claudia. My Posca never has flaked off, not once. I don't know. Do you shake it up really good? I have no idea why that happens. Okay, so I'm gonna. And I'll probably put a couple over her face and down here on the wing too. But I'm not done with the wing, so I don't want anything coming across there. I'm not done with the face, so I don't want any of these strands coming down into her face. But I at least want to show y'all where I'm going with it. Right? Let me go this way. It's a little bit brighter right in there. And cross over them. Have some cross over each other. They're going to look like stripes. And that'll probably be enough off the top. I might put a couple more, but the other ones that I want to come across her wing, and I want a couple coming across her face. But I got to finish the face first. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. Let's get the Caribbean Sea. Let me sharpen. And I've already got some periwinkle, the dark you know, is periwinkle there. So now I'm going to take and blend. And I want kind of a heavy shadow on her forehead, like she's kind of looking down. And her, you know, hair and head is giving a shadow on her forehead like this. I'll blend a little around her hair right there. She's got little ears there. I covered that ear up. Oh well. Guess I could put it back in. Kind of covered up her ear there. And see how I'm kind of going over her lashes? I can do that because that's marker, pen. If that was black pencil that I had gone over the eyelashes with, if I did this, I'd be smearing it. So that's why I say you want to do lashes and stuff like that after you got all the skin done. Anybody got any questions or anything? I don't know. Hope y'all just getting something out of it. Maybe I'll give her a little, almost scaly looking lip thing there. I don't know. Hopefully y'all are enjoying this. Alright, I got to work down her body here. So let me go back with the periwinkle. And I'm going to start doing a little bit of shading on her arms. Y'all let me know if y'all like this. Y'all don't like this, I don't want to do, I mean, I'll color anytime on my own. I just want to make sure people are enjoying what I'm doing. It's kind of a waste if not. But I had requests. I had requests from people to do another, at least one Jasmine this month. Yeah, me too, Janet. I like company while I draw. You weren't going to be sure about whether the blue was going to turn out? Thanks, guys. I'm not fishing for compliments. I'm just asking, you know, I just want to make sure y'all are enjoying the show. Enjoying what we choose to do, you know, because I like doing it all. Collage, mixed media, art journals, napkin journal, altered books, sketching on the big scrolls, idea collecting. I like doing all of it. So, you know, it doesn't really matter to me which one of those we do. You know, I want y'all to like it if I'm recording, because I'll do all of that in my own time no matter what, as I have time. You know? A little bit more shadow, I think, right there where it's kind of... Probably need a little darker indigo in there. Thanks, Miss Terry. I haven't, where's my, oh, I took the phone out of the room. I was going to play my Terry sound. But I took the phone out. Let's do a little, her hands bent over. So it's going to have shadow down there. Her hand might be bent a little, so the wrist will probably be a little, like, you know, a little bend in it. I'm not taking a lot of time on this skin because I want to move on to her clothes and everything. But you can see, I hope you can tell, that by having the wash down first, it gets so much of the work done for you if you want to, you know, move along. All right, so let me go back to the indigo and let's just get a little, let me sharpen, a little extra darks here and there. And when you do the shading, like, you gotta have very light touch. Light, 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 light touch. Bye, Megan. Thanks for stopping in. Anybody else that comes and goes that I miss? So we'll see if I might be able to stream on Friday. Depends, though. Hubster's car's in the shop. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. I haven't heard back on the car situation yet. Hubster's probably heard. I haven't heard. So we'll see about Friday. Streaming Friday morning a little bit. Oh, that breeze feels so nice coming through. I don't know if Suzanne's still here, but isn't it nice out today, Suzanne, in Atlanta area? So nice out. Need to go take a walk, probably. Okay, some more shadows there. Now I'm going to start doing a little bit more blending. So let's go back with the light blue, the Caribbean blue, I think, and start smoothing out the skin. See, this is what I'm talking about, blending it out, that people have said is different than doing it with polys. So I don't know. I need more practice. More practice with them. I was going to do a couple of little demos with them today, but I don't know if we'll have time. We'll see. Oh, I'm glad, Terry. You're liking the fall in your new area. It's nice and cool, and it's like, it feels like almost like the first day of fall, though we've had one or two other days like this, but today's really starting to feel like fall. I don't know if y'all can tell much difference when I'm blending this in. I'm going over the top of the dark blue and feathering it in and feathering it out. It's just making the skin smooth. No pencil line showing. And to do that, you just have to take nice soft layers. And I'm going to go over it with white, especially since she's blue. You're not missing California at all? Yeah, I guess not, especially with all the fires and smoke. You're really probably not missing. Well, I don't know that you were in that area before you moved, Terry. All right, I think I will take just the tiniest bit of peach like I did in her face, and I might just put a little... Oh wait, that's not peach. That was yellow. It's very subtle, but it makes her skin look like she's translucent. Just the tiniest bit. All right, now I'm going to go in with white. You weren't anywhere near the fires? Yeah. All right, now I'm going to start at the top and just kind of work my way down the skin here. And I got to do her bat wings and her leggings. So it just, and this is another reason I like doing real-time videos, because you can see, and I'm hurrying, but you can still see how long it takes to do this. You just can't, you know, and granted, I am kind of hurrying through to get it all done in a couple of shows, which is about 5 hours, I guess, total that we'll have worked on her by the time we're done. And even with 5 hours, it's, you know, could even take longer if I took my time. So now I'm just using the white to really smooth and blend everything really, really nice. Oh, I know what I was going to do. I was going to do a test of Polly's with a blender marker. She has a spider on her back. Wonder if that girl knows she has a spider on her. Those are bat wings. Dot, if that's what you meant. I have not done even coloring those in yet. Then I'm doing very light pressure. Don't be bearing down with the wax pencils. And you're picking up, I'm picking up blue on there. So that's why you see a lot of scribbles here. This is me cleaning off my white pencil. So that you don't, because if I did dark blue, let's say I'd go right here on her ear, where there's dark blue right there. And behind her ear, I don't know if you'll be able to see it, there's blue on the tip of that. Now if I try to go, say, somewhere where it's light, or in her eye or something, I would transfer that blue into another area. Girls, spider sneaking up her back. So you have to make sure and keep your white pencil, when you go from color to color, clean it off so that you don't transfer the color. Janet, did you post your Inktober, or are you still working on it? So, yeah. Spider's got her back. Oh, brother, Brenda. Good one, though. So I'm kind of going along that light area right in here. I don't even know what I'm going to do. I don't plan out what I'm going to do on my Inktober for the day with the kanji. I just kind of flip through the book and find a kanji to illustrate, so to speak. You're doing the lettering now, okay. Yeah, your lettering is awesome on your pieces as well, Janet. I think I want to take my Posca and give her a little bit more lip highlight. Kind of tap it out. You can always go back over it with pencil. And then just a little smudge on her nose there. All right, back to the blending. Right now, let's see, I think that's dry. Go back in there, let's sharpen this blue. Okay, Melody, thank you for staying this long. I'm going to test some polys out if we get time. I know I have some odorless paint thinner around here somewhere. And I know I have a marker, blender pen, whatever you call them, to test. Because I don't use them, but I know I got them around here. There's her little lips. Yeah, I can't get too close. I'm so zoomed in, I can't really hold it up. All right, back to the white. All right, now let's just work on our arms here. And they're pretty layered up, so it's not taking a whole lot of white. There's so many layers here that it's just kind of almost just barely smoothing it out. And I'm not pushing hard, I don't need to. So what are y'all wanting to see next? I have to show y'all where I started, and what is it called? Irene? I get the names confused. Yeah, Irene. I started a page. I showed it like at the beginning of the day, but I started a page. It's not being filmed. It's just like my own personal time. Like there's a lot of that. But just here and there I'll pick up the markers. I'm doing that one in alcohol markers to start. And so it'll just be one that I work on. The thing is when I'm working on my own personal color book pages, I can leave it to the side when I'm working on something else, and maybe for 5 or 10 minutes, pick up a marker, get some base done, and I don't have to worry about like completing anything at one time, like I have to when I'm filming. And so it's just a project I can work on 5 minutes here, 10 minutes there, and then have a page done eventually, right? Napkin journal. Napkin. Don't want the napkin journal next time? We could do a Halloween. I've done, I think, the last 2 years, right? Halloween napkin journal page. Okay, let me write that down. We'll do that next time then. Let's see. Okay, I already got that done. Let me throw that one away. Where's the pencil? Okay, Halloween napkin. I could use those fall leaves that Sharon sent when she wrapped up the Divas treats. Those fall leaves. If we get time, I'll pull that book out and we can re-look at it and talk about doing something in it. Okay, that's what we'll do then. The napkin journal. But not this Friday because you work. Well, I don't even know if I'll be able to do it this Friday anyway. But if I do, I'll record. Where's my black? What did I do? I thought I had a black pencil out. I need to get around our fingers down here. I thought about putting a glow around, but we'll see. Maybe it's a glow around her hair and some on the wings will be enough. Okay, let's go back to the white. Let's get her skin done here. Y'all want me to do it on Monday? Okay, Monday. Getting requests for having it done on Monday. If we get enough time here, I'll show in case everybody here knows. But if you're watching the recording, John, what's a napkin journal? Probably you already know if you've been here on my show. But I'll show my napkin journal. What it is a journal page done with background of decorative napkins. It has been a while since we worked in it for sure. We do try to keep up with the color books and the abandoned places. You know, if you really think about it, I only do 2, maybe 3 projects a week on camera. I thought about recording more, just personal time, while I'm doing something, and just recording them, even though it's not a live chat. So it's a little more less exciting, I guess you'd say, in the conversation when I'm just talking to, I still imagine I'm talking to you guys when I'm just filming something, but it's not the same as interacting. That's the word I'm looking for. Interacting with you guys in chat. That's fun for me. So just really lightly blending. And I think I will add a little bit more peach. Just a little bit more. It's real subtle. I don't even know if y'all can really see much of it, but Sometimes, Brenda, I never know till 1. So I stream up till 1 and then we see. Unless one of the girls has seen it earlier or something. Terry usually kind of notices. Okay, so I think that's pretty good for the skin. And hair. I know, I'm loving this fall weather here in Georgia. I forgot where you are. Are you in the Atlanta area, Beth? I think you are. Aren't you? Okay, so I think I'm going to leave it because otherwise we'll be here a long time. Let me get her wings done so I can do the hair strands because I want a couple coming across her face. Okay, so I think what I want to do is, let's see if I can do it with a pencil, if I have enough paint there. I want to have the wings have a little bit of a, I might just do it with Posca. Yeah, it's easier. Let me just go along the edge. And I can always feather it out. I think I'll have to, that needs to be probably black or darker. Even though it's the edge of the wing, I think I don't like how it's right there. We'll see. Shows these little curls on the ends of them. Dorothy, one of the ladies who came to your meeting this morning couldn't look at the picture of the lovely doll Carol TNT made me as it reminded her of some. I don't think I saw the doll. Dot, I don't know what doll. I don't know that I saw it. Did you post a picture of it? The only place I don't really like where this has gone is right there. I think that needs to be black or darker gray. Let me go back to a gray, which I pulled one earlier. Where'd it go? Here it is. And I'm going to go ahead and still have it lighter, but not as light right there on that underneath, because that's kind of underneath. It wouldn't be bright white. Make sure it's dry. Okay, now I'm going to take the gray. It might see if it's dark enough. We had an amazing fall here in Eastern Canada as well. Yeah, and I follow, you know, the guy that I follow on Facebook that lives up there by Eugene. The one that goes out treasure hunting and exploring and all that. He posts weather related things too. So I'm just taking the gray and adding some shadow right in deeper in close to her body. See the difference that made? And feather that out just a bit. And I'm going on top. This is watercolor that I'm going on top of here. Something like that. Although that needs to be a little lighter spot, I think. Or I could just go in here with the gray and make it kind of mottled like the bat wings are kind of scruffy like, you know what I mean? See? Not perfectly flat color, but a little scruffy. I like that better. Okay, now let's do this side. Thanks. Thanks, Kimberly. And I know my chair just squeaks away, but it's so comfortable. I thought about getting rid of it. And I figure, oh well, it's a little squeaky, but I like it. Okay, something like that. All right, so now I can go in with the white for her hair, as long as I don't go over this, because I'm not done with the VooDoo guy yet. And I think I want one coming right across her eye, like that. So this is why you have to have all the background done first. Because you don't want to have to try to color around that. Just knocking my pencils on the floor. Maybe one more here. She's fierce. Yeah, that's a good word for it. She's fierce. All right, so this hair right here, I did kind of want to come right over. Okay, let's keep moving. Let's do her legs, and we'll do the VooDoo doll. We should have time to finish. All right. Couple hairs maybe. I might need to pick up on, because I went back over this with the blue, so I kind of lost a few of those brights along the edge of her head. Just a couple coming down like that. Coming around. Maybe make a couple extra swirls of hair there. Keep them purposeful. Okay, so something like that. Now, let's go to the legs, and let's get my chocolate black cherry. The black cherry and the raspberry, and probably some white raspberry. Okay, so we're going to go with the same colors that we used up here in the background and work on the legs. Let me sharpen really nice. Feels like that wants to break. We'll see. Yeah. Okay, Naja, thanks for commenting occasionally. It's like to know people are here, because I work while I'm watching other people's too, so you don't have to. All right, so I'm going to go with the black cherry, and I'm going to start shading first the stripes. I'm going to have it light and dark raspberry colors. So I'm going to start with the leggings, the dark stripe first. It'll be darker on the edges, and I'm going to shade that other stripe too, but I'm going to just start with this one. Okay. So it looks like there's a shine coming up the middle a little bit. If you want it to look like silk, you almost put white down the middle. but I'm going to just kind of make it look like satin rather than like real shiny. It's going to be kind of shiny, but not, I don't know. We'll see where it goes. So I'm just using the black cherry. There's more work on the electricity. And then every other one here, I'm just going to go ahead and color dark. On the back side of her leg. Like that. Okay, so we've now gone from this to this. And that's just paint. I can completely cover up any of this with paint that's been painted. All right, so now let's come down here. These leggings shouldn't take but 5 minutes or so. And then we can get onto the doll. Yeah, they turned off the cable. I don't know if they accidentally hit the cable when they were doing something with the electricity. But they got it back on. Jean's here. I see Jean Terry. She's crocheting. Your hand needs to stretch, Jean? Yeah. Can you see how it's looking shiny a little already? Just go color in the direction of the stripe so that it looks like it's going that way. Okay, but look how dark I'm doing it too. I think sometimes, let me sharpen. I think sometimes color book gals don't get enough dark, they don't get enough contrast. And I know it can be scary to get something really, really dark, but it really does make your page so much more dramatic if you can have real, real darks and real, real lights. Okay, now I'm going to take, before I start blending that in, I'm going to take the raspberry color, and on the lighter stripes, I'm going to kind of do the same. It'll be lighter. It's going to be lighter than the black cherry, but dark enough to shadow. Whoops. Yeah, this one, I think this is one of my old ones that had issues. Yeah, you need the contrast. Real light lights and real... I need to get another raspberry. This one's an old one, I think. And it's given me troubles breaking. Because I don't have my new Prismas from my old Prismas separated when they had the issues. And I think this might be one of the ones. Oh, we're going to make it pop here in just a minute. Let's get the darks on here. And then all we have left is the little VooDoo doll. Maybe we'll stick a pin in it. Oh, I got a good one to do. Oh, wait, I'm not going to tell y'all. I'll show y'all. Oops, come back there. I got an idea. I got a little bit more garden cleanup to do before it gets really cold. We got a lot of it done on Saturday. But my arms gave out on the clippers. Well, they're not like I was telling y'all before, it's not like these kind of clippers. It's not like these kind of clippers, you know, like the long shear kind. Like real long ones. They're the kind that are like that, so that you have more you can cut branches with this. This you can only cut like thin limbs. This is the kind that has like down here at the tip, and they're real heavy because this is all metal, right? Oh, I just pushed hard and broke my pencil. Anyway, I used them for like an hour cutting down the hydrangeas and some other branches and things. And my forearms were so sore the next Monday and Tuesday from using that heavy clipper. So I didn't finish, is what I'm saying. Hubster was doing some other things, taking down some rose bushes, and so I said, well, I'll do the hydrangeas in the front garden. And boy, my arms were sore. Right here, right here in the forearms. Okay, so there's the start of that. Yeah, they're stronger for branches. Now I think I'm going to, let me see, I think I might get pink actually. I might get pink. And I'm going to start, let's start with the darkest one first, which I'll probably need to darken, maybe go back and darken a little with the raspberry, but I'm going to pull out my highlights a little bit. So I'm going to go ahead on the darkest and just put a layer of pink. And then on the lightest one, I'll go with white. And again, I'll probably have to darken that with a little bit of pink. But I'm just, wait, that's the wrong one. This one. Okay. Now I'm going to go back with the pink where I messed that one up here. Okay, so now I'm going to go with the raspberry. Now remember, that was black cherry. That was black cherry on the darkest. Now I'm going to take the raspberry and blend that a little bit on top of where I just put the pink. And just kind of feather that in. Okay. And then where I put the white on top of the first initial raspberry color, I'll go in there with the pink on top of the white and just kind of knock back that white just a little. And I might have to do this a couple times because one stripe is lighter, but I still want the highlight to come down the leg. Can y'all see that? Hopefully. And then you just got to kind of keep blending until everything's kind of smoothed out. See how that works? That's that long. Yeah, they are a workout, Connie. They really are. Now you want some really raspberry. Okay, so let me go back to the raspberry color and just kind of, again, I just want to keep smoothing and blending. Okay. And then I'm just going to put a little kind of continuous shadow down here all the way across the whole thing, because this is going to be really dark down here next to the floor. So I'll just put a whole shadow right along the bottom. And there might actually be a little more of a shadow right here under this leg. There, like that. Under the voodoo doll thing. Like that. All right, so now let me do this little area here. That's where her legs are crossed over. Okay. So I'm going to go in with the raspberry and kind of blend the darkest one first in a little. All right, now I'm going to go with the pink. And then the white on the lighter one. Okay. I think the darker one needs a little bit more pink. And now start blending. Okay, and then again, I'm going to take the black cherry and do a whole shadowed area on the whole thing, because I want this real dark down by the floor. And right along there too. Okay, now take the pink, go over that white, just kind of keep blending. You see harsh lines, you just got to get back in there and kind of blend it. And then I'll go back with the white on the last bit. Something like that. Okay, and they look round. You like the tights? Okay, so now we're going to do the same thing here and here. So let me just kind of tilt it a little so I can get at it. So take the black cherry, or no, let's go ahead and take the raspberry on the darkest one. And just do a little bit of blend there. On top of the dark cherry. Like that. And now I'm going to take the pink on the darkest stripe. Okay. All right. Are you following me so far? Now go back to the black cherry on the lighter stripe and just kind of, I mean the raspberry, not the black cherry. The black cherry is on the darkest one. The lightest stripe has the raspberry as its darkest point or darkest shade. Which is still lighter than the stripe next to it, right? So you see the difference there? Okay, now I'm going to take the white Am I explaining this well? Hey, CB. And then on the lightest stripe, I'm just going to lightly go, just like I did the pink on this one, I'm going to do the white on this one. And if it gets too white, I'll knock it back with some pink. I'm just trying to get that highlight going up the leg there. Like that. Now I'm going to go back to the, I'll go to the pink here. And let's just kind of blend that out a little bit. It's a little too bright. At least on the edges there. Okay, I got to go back with the raspberry on this one. It's still needs a little darkness back there by her kneecap. Okay, so you see how that worked? So let me explain again. I'll use a pointer. With the black cherry, that's the darkest. Then it's on both sides. And then the raspberry, and then the pink. Then on the other lighter stripe, it's the raspberry, white, and pink. Knock back the white just a little bit with the pink. So, and you might have to go back and forth a couple times to get them all, smoothed out and all. And then when you get it all smoothed out as best you can, I go back with the pink just a little bit more blend here. And then for where you want shadows, I'm going to take the black cherry and like right up under her leg here. See, there's a little bit of her stocking showing on another layer. But right here, I want this to be nice and shadowed. So I'm going to use the black cherry just to go across the whole, not real far in, but this is just a shadow. This isn't the color of the stocking. It's just for the shadow purposes. And then the same thing right here on the edge because her leg's going over. So it's going to have a shadow right way back there and probably a little bit right under her arm. Like that. So now, we've gone from this to this. And I can still see it could use a little bit more smoothing out here. And again, if the white gets too bright, knock it back with the pink. Unless you want it to look like real silky, instead of like just satin silky, then you probably would keep it real white because it would be real shiny, right? But take your time. I'm kind of hurrying, like we always do here. Okay. All right, let's do this last leg here. Take a sip of coffee. I'm sure it's cold. Okay, now let's get in here with the pink on the dark stripe. And the white on the light stripe. And because that's paint under there, guys, see that's paint? Look, I can get it back to white. Because that pencil will go over a watercolor and acrylic paint. Whereas if that had been color pencil, there's no way I could get this bright white back. Okay, so now I'm going to go back in here with the raspberry and start blending that. That's the benefit of a wash, whether you use acrylic paint, which is gives you a little better effect, I think, than watercolor. But you can do it with either one. Pencil on top of paint. Alright, so now I'm going to take my pink and knock back the white. Go back to the black cherry and shadow. How we do on time? I don't know if Joycey's streaming or not. I'm gonna go ahead and keep working though for 15 more minutes if she is. But if y'all want to go, I'm recording, so I don't know if she's even streaming. I don't know. But just saying, I'm gonna keep working on this to finish the little doll. But I'm recording. Okay. And take the pink again and lighten up just a little more on the dark stripe and blend. Nobody's saying anything, so. And just take your time to get everything nice and blended. Okay, Terry, take care of your shoulder. You should have left earlier, girl. Just saying. Okay. Let's put a little bit more shadow under her arm there. Probably right along the edge of the doll. Like that. She hadn't tweeted? Okay. Well, I'm going to keep working to finish this little doll, so. And if she doesn't stream, I might stay and do some other things. Unless somebody else is streaming that I don't know about. Thanks, Jean. Appreciate it. Okay, so something like that. I think I'll do one last little bit of bright. Like that. So there we go. So we got our stockings done. Okay, now the doll. I had a couple of colors here. I had a sienna, a brown. Where's my sienna? Is that it? No, that's my red. Ah, here we go. A sienna, a yellow ochre, and a sand color. So we're going to use these. Let me sharpen. Let me empty out my little bowl here. It's getting full. Daisy, hey, let's do some more. But I want to finish this up first. Okay, I got something stuck in that. Okay. So I'm going to go with sienna, sand, and yellow ochre on the little VooDoo doll. Okay, God, I got a big mess here. Okay, so I'm going to go with the sienna color first. And on the little, like, ties, if you're the knots or whatever. I'm going to get a little bit of dark on the edges. And I'm kind of doing the same kind of thing on these, on the ties that I did on her stockings. Okay? Dark on the edges, medium, and then light in the middle. So I'm just going to go ahead and put all the dark down here. I'll hold it up a little. I mean, I'm so zoomed in, it's really hard to get it much closer. See how I just did the edges? Now I'm going to take the ochre and blend that in. And I'll show you that step. Okay, now I'm going to take the sand, and that'll be the lightest color. Whoops, got that nice and sharp. Snapped off the tip, and just kind of blend everything together, because this is the darkest of the things. And I might have to even go back in a little bit darker on the edges. We'll see. Like, with real dark right on the insides there. But take your time to kind of blend it. I'm rushing through. There would be a little shadow right under here too, under that one. Okay, something like that on the ties. Thanks, you like her blue skin? Thanks, CB. I'll zoom, you know, when I get done here, I'm going to back way out so you can see everything. All right, so now I'm just going to start doing some shading. Like this is the top. I'm not sure if there's like straw should be coming out of the top of that. I'm kind of thinking maybe. Like, is that like a hole? Or is this like little, you know, something like that? Like little individual, you know, like the end of a broom, how that looks. That's what I'm imagining. You're the boss. Yep, I am. I might get some a little bit darker and lighter colors in there too. And then wherever there's a line art, you know, I'm kind of just following that in there too to get rid of the black lines and then make it look kind of strawish. I'll probably get a darker brown to do some shadows in here. So something like that. And now I'm going to take the yellow ochre. And like I said, I think I'll get in here with some dark brown and do a few little flicks in there. But I want to get some yellow ochre down to keep the color all consistent. I might use my Posca to get some extra straw texture too. Why not? And again, you can see how fast I'm going here. Don't feel like you got to rush through it. But I have an idea at the end here. If I can finish this and pull it off. All right, so now I think I'm going to take my white Posca so that I can do a couple things. I'm going to go on the edges and make some of the straw look like it's kind of coming right over the edges maybe, and then because I'll go back over this white with the yellow ochre, but I'm just going to get some straw effects kind of like poking out. Kind of like that. You know what the bottom of a broom looks like. That's the effect. That's what I'm going for here. And then maybe just a little bit of highlight on the crossover of the ties there. All right. Doll is cool. Okay. All right. So now again, I'm going to do the same thing on the head here. I want some and I'm going to go over this with yellow, or the yellow ochre rather, as soon as it dries. But my plan is, let's see if I can get this. I just don't know where I could write it. Maybe right across his head. That's what I'll do. But I'm going to finish everything first, then you'll see. Okay, so let me dry that so I can go over the white with the... Okay, all right, Janet. We're going to finish up here in about 5 minutes. All right, so now I'm going to take the yellow ochre. I want to write something on his head here in a minute. It's who her voodoo doll is. So hang on guys, we're getting there. And I'm just knocking back the white so it's not like bright white. I want it highlighted like yellow straw broom, but not white. See, can you see the difference there? See, that's knocked back to yellow from white. So it just still looks like straw, but it's not white, bright white, but the highlights still show. Thank you, Chatty Natty. I'm gonna put a name for her. VooDoo here in a minute. And I might put a pen or two sticking out of it. Okay, now I just need a little bit of dark brown. Let's see. Dark umber. Just to get a little bit of dark inside those. Just a little bit more contrast. I'll zoom out here so you can see it in a minute. Or see the whole thing. Just need that extra little bit of contrast. And I hope y'all enjoyed the show today. 2 parts working on Jasmine. And let's see, I need a little bit darker in here. I'm rushing, as y'all can see. I hear my stomach growling. Haven't eaten yet today. All right. So now what I want to do, love the straw effect. It makes more sense. Yeah, like a straw doll. Yeah. But let's see. I'll probably put it in black pen, and then I can always put a little knockback on it if I need to. Let's see how I can do. This one's barely working because it's the one I sit on my desk all the time to use. Okay. So, her doll. Oh, wait. Let me do a little bit around the eyes. Just a little extra effect here. I know y'all can't see. Hang on. I'm kind of like not letting you see for a minute. And then maybe, do I want to put any stick, maybe I don't know if I want to put needles in it. I think this will say enough. Did I spell it right? And I want it kind of not very perfect because it's on top of straw. How's that look? What do y'all think? You like it, Beth? Is that good? Is that her voodoo doll? It's a bully. I need my brown again. So there is our Jasmine for the day. All right, let me back out and then we'll see the whole picture. There we go. Oh, wait. One more thing. Hang on. I'll do one more thing. I got to trim her down. Hang on. And put her on black cardstock. Because that's what I'll do. I'll put her in my book, you know. Okay, did I miss that little bit on the end? Let me go this way. Wait, I got to get this one first. No, I got to get this one first. I got to trim that with the scissors. Hang on. I got a little off down here on this edge. Hang on, I'm going from the back. I can see. I got a little crooked on the bottom. And that's going to throw off the others, so I need to get that right. So now it rests evenly, you know. Okay, now get a piece of black cardstock. And what I do is I just take some double-sided tape, but I do need to write Wolves of Venice. No, I think I did write that on the other one to make sure that I have the opposite page of this one. And I just put some double-sided tape around the edges. Do y'all like that? Oh, good. I thought that was a nice little touch at the end there. Okay, and now take my black cardstock, and I want to kind of stand up and center her here. Let's see here. She's a little crooked, but it's okay. So there we go. And that's what I do with them all. I put them all on the black cardstock. So there's our Jasmine girl. So yeah. Thanks, guys. Glad you like it. I'll post a picture of her on Twitter as soon as we leave here. Okay, so thanks for being here, guys. All right. Y'all have a great Wednesday. Where's my hump day camel? I moved him. Ah, here he is. Okay. So y'all have a good hump day. All right, guys. See you later. Bye.